Welcome, everyone. I'm here. Sorry, I was like a little late, like 16 minutes late to start the stream. I was in the middle of finishing up a video about a certain someone that you'll probably see later on after this stream ends, because I'm also in the process of immediately finishing it after this stream, which, of course, I'm going to have to talk about this. So I watched the entire hour, almost an hour, of Ethan Klein's ridiculously bad faves uncharitable segment. For the entire hour, Ethan Klein complains about Vaush's video called the context video. He complains about that throughout the majority of his segment. See where it says reacting to Vaush's response? He reacted to it, all right. He reacted to it in a way that is childish and, above all, an unsportsmanship-like behavior. Also, not to mention that Ethan Klein was still sick during the entire show. The entire 3-hour show, he was sick. And he still is. He may have taken that NyQuil, but he didn't even bother rescheduling the stream for like next week, like next Sunday, where he can actually do what he could have done then had he made a smarter choice to actually had he actually made the smarter choice to reschedule for next week and not risk his health like he's seemingly doing here. He could have been feeling a lot better, more energetic, and much less of a cranky ass pants. Because that's what he's been like for the majority of the time. He complained about Vaush. He said that Vaush's video is 2 hours long, even though it's only an hour and 42 minutes, not exactly 2 hours long. So I don't know why Ethan Klein would spread that misinformation there if he can't even fucking read the time length of the video. Because I can clearly read his, and his stream lasts for 3 hours, 42 minutes. Not 4 hours, 3 hours, 42 minutes. See it? 3 hours, 42 minutes, not 4 hours. I can read that just fine. Ethan Klein, however, he looking like he's doozy off the wall. He's very doozy. Like, I know why he made a total mistake to do this stream. It was so unprofessional of him to do that. He complained about it for an hour. Plus, he skipped Vaush's response to all of the context that Vaush was trying to explain in his video. Then he did the why does he have more likes than me? Childish remark. Which later on in this live stream, we're going to get to. Because Ethan Klein, if you're watching this, you really shouldn't have compared the numbers. It's kind of weak when you do that, when you do compare someone's numbers, because it is not a good comeback at all. Really, it is way more unprofessional than it needs to be. So yeah, I don't get people sometimes why they point out how many people receive this video well by pointing out the likes and dislikes, because I can do the same thing to you right now that you're probably doing to Vaush. It's very childish for him to hope that Vaush gets the amount of dislikes that I'm giving Ethan here, even though he's not getting the amount of dislikes, just like Vaush isn't getting the amount of dislikes that he should have gotten. 18 likes would have been 18 dislikes, for example. So I know why Ethan Klein would brought this up in the first place. But yeah. That's something that I'm going to show you now.
Promised us a update video, and he did. I think he's lost in the sauce.
That probably happens a lot. They grift and then they get lost completely. Get sucked in.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. Oh, thank you for the gifted thing you did, Mark Schreiber. So let's talk about Vaush. Vaush, he promised us a update video, and he did post an update video. Now, I did not need a 2-hour video. It's like 2 hours long. In my opinion,
if you have a short attention span, go fix it. Just go fix it. Nobody cares if you don't like longer videos that are almost 2 hours long. Nobody cares if you like longer videos that are almost 2 hours long. Nobody cares. Just man up, suck it up, and watch the video. Who cares? There are longer videos like that for a reason.
the video should just be like, you know what? I have issues. It's not normal. And frankly, I probably should get help for it. And that's what I'm going to do. You know?
Yeah.
But instead, he spent 2 hours trying to talk about how he's a great speaker. He does have a talent for orating. In another age, he could have been Adolf Hitler, probably. He could have easily. He could be. He's probably highly Hitler back in alternate universe as we speak. But instead of that, we got 2 hours of him explaining that he's just edgy, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you watched the whole thing, AB. If you had to summarize it.
Yeah, so he goes by clip explaining it, and he says that these clips make him cringe and that they've haunted him since he said them. They were, most of them, around 2018, 2019, and he didn't realize the harm in what he was saying. He didn't even realize how bad that it looked to audiences outside of his own until he debated it with a bigger creator. And so he's trying to justify them. He says that they were cringe, they were bad, but he is not a pedo, pretty much.
I promise you guys, I am not a pedo. I want to make this very clear. See, you lost me already in that. I promise you guys, everybody, listen, I'm not a pedo. Please. Here's the video. Let me pull it up. Just to give you an idea of, what we're dealing with here.
That would make sense, all that kind of stuff. That he was edgy back in the days, but we did see your
No,
hard
what
drive.
the fuck is that?
We saw your hard
That's
drive.
what I keep coming back to.
On the hard drive.
And if he had made this video 2 months ago, it probably would have been a good move, right? To just like all at once address all these old clips of him that have been floating around. But like now the circumstance is pretty different. Pretty different now, isn't it?
And there's more things coming up now. Someone found what is in the video folder. People found out the tiny sliver of the thumbnail.
I saw that, and I looked into it a bit, and I wasn't sure if it was something or nothing.
I don't know either, but I saw like a short clip, and now people are digging into that.
I think I watched the same thing you saw.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But I mean, listen. At the end of the day, the folder kind of you can't let him take you on this trip, this 2-hour journey of interweaving excuse.
Again, it is an hour and it is about an hour and 40-minute video. Not 2 hours.
Uses and contextualized stuff. None of them. I mean, listen. The folder just end the story. Let me just play you guys here.
Cheers, Michael.
You know what? I want to show you guys the new stuff before. Let me pepper his excuses with some new stuff.
Yeah, no thank you. I saw what Ethan Klein was trying to bring up. That should not have been part of the live stream. All everyone wanted to see was the fucking context video. You cannot just bring that up first. If you have an audience that is expecting that you bring up the context video. Like, you can't just do them like that if you're going to show the so-called new evidence that hasn't been in Vaush's video. And I bet you barely watched it, Ethan Klein. Like, you just started pulling up that video. And now you're gonna look at something else? Like, nobody got time for that here. Just play the original video. You know? There's no reason to bring up this video either. Just play the context video. Like, why must you go through and stall? The entire time. Why? Why must you go through and stall the entire time?
However, between like drawn lolly shit and actual attraction to children. Because of course there's a relationship between those things. Ridiculous.
He did not address the context here.
Just play the fucking video.
Oh yeah, dude. Okay, this is all new stuff. This one is not that bad, but it's just another one.
Ethan. I ain't got time to sit here and wait for what you're about to actually show. Like, all this here is completely not necessary. All you have to do is show Vaush's video, not all of this, because nobody cares to like read some new stuff that are from over a decade ago. Who cares about that now? That's not the whole point of you reacting to Vaush's response. Like you say, you were going to do that. Don't bring up other irrelevant nonsense and just bring the entire video that everyone was here for in the first place. There's no need. Like, you keep dragging this on for as long as 3 minutes. Or no, for as long as like 12 minutes. You could have just gone to the context video itself. There's no reason for you to bring up all of his past DMs from the Discord. There is no reason for this. Just bring the video only. Because at the end of the day, this is what the people are actually here for. The context video. Just bring that one up.
I don't know. So let's see what he has to say. Let's see if he's going to convince me.
Now, without further ado, let's get to the content. We'll start with the absolute worst of it, the monstrously stupid argument that I made way back when I first started streaming that has since haunted me and irreparably tarnished my reputation. Now, this clip is the one that I see cited most often when people are accusing me of being a pedophile. That's not even a little surprising to me, though. It sounds pretty bad.
In fact, and this is going to be a real hot take, I didn't get to hear a convincing moral or legal argument as to why possession of child pornography should be
And
legal.
let's how he labels it. He says, this is the out of context clip. So he's still trying to do this silly game, but let's see.
Actual child pornography.
Like I said, pretty bad. This clip is from right after I start.
It's not a game, Ethan. He's showing you that because that's what's been clipped from bad faith Twitter users who hate Vaush. Maybe you don't know Vaush's history because you never watched him since he started streaming back in 2018. And to be quite fair, I, too, wasn't around when Vaush was streaming. I was only around in 2020 when President Biden won the White House for president of the United States. That's when I was around Vaush at the time. But he is giving his context here.
Started streaming, so a significant portion of my career as a live streamer has been spent providing context for
Yeah,
hitting the ground running
right.
with that one for the clip over and over to many people and many audiences. I've addressed it so many times that it's turned into like a kind of running joke in my community.
Very
Like
funny. I love jokes about pedophilia. Those are my favorite.
Rape.
Me and my community, you know, the ones who will defend me no matter what, that are the ones that are defending Lolly. We love that joke. That's our favorite.
Cursed to keep walking into over and over, and it hits me in the head. I often see people outside of my community, people who have seen this clip but not seen me address it, mock the idea that any context
Go
that
ahead.
I or anyone else could provide
Again,
could possibly
just maybe 2 hours. Give me the context and stop with the fucking grandstanding, bro.
explain.
Ethan, stop being so impatient. Stop having a short attention span, too. Like, you gotta be a little bit more charitable to actually listen and wait. That's why it's called the context video for a reason. He's giving he's explaining the entire context.
Away
Too
if
damn
something
long.
sounds that bad. When they see
So what? You do these long ass streams for almost 4 hours every time. And nobody complained about that when they come back and watch it. Because they missed a stream from you. Nobody complains about it then. Nobody complains about a nearly 4-hour live stream. So why would you complain about an 1 hour, 40-minute video?
Me or my fans.
If he really wanted to convince anyone, he knows nobody's gonna watch 2 fucking hours of this shit.
Once again, it is an hour and 40-minute video, not 2 hours.
You know, let's get it snappy. 20 minutes max.
And
Now that's just asking for too much. Because if you are saying, oh, I want the videos to be way shorter than an hour and 30 minutes or an hour and 40 minutes, or as you would say, 2 hours, which is not, by the way, again, then clearly this all about me attitude shows that you are incapable of improving your attention span. Because all you want to do is to complain about how long it is while not doing the very important thing that many adults, such as yourself, just like many children, are supposed to do when they stupidly complain about how too long the video is. It's not Vaush's fault for making an hour-long video. In fact, it's not anyone's fault if they make videos that are 3 hours long or 5 hours long or 2 hours long. It's your fault for having a short attention span that you never got rid of, because all you would do probably is to be fixated by watching short videos or only sticking with 10-minute videos. Like, for me, if I were to watch a video, I don't want to spend like 2 minutes watching a 2-minute video, or 5 minutes watching a 5-minute video, or 10 minutes watching a 10-minute video. I want the video to be way longer so I don't have to scour for another video on my YouTube recommendations every 2 to 5 minutes. That's why long videos exist, Ethan. Everyone knows that, including yourself. So stop whining, suck it up, and watch. It is that simple.
now he can say, "Oh, you didn't watch the whole video."
No, AB watched the whole video. Well, I've watched enough. Frankly, you know, we know what's in it.
Oh yeah,
You know? I've watched it like 3 times. So
Yeah.
I'm still not fucking getting it. What am I missing? What's new here? Still the same shit.
What's new here? What's missing here is the context. That Twitter users didn't fully show, because some of those Twitter users are the ones who hate Vaush. And they love to nitpick the out of context clips to make Vaush look bad. And that's what you're missing here.
Now he can say, "Oh, you didn't watch the whole video."
No, AB watched the whole video. I've watched enough. Frankly, we know what's in it.
Oh yeah.
You know?
I've watched it like 3 times. So
Yeah.
I'm still not fucking getting it. What am I missing? What's new here? Still the same shit, pretty much. I feel like it was meant for his audience.
Yes.
He says at the end, he goes, "I'm sorry to my fans that I made it so hard to be a fan of me." So I think he knows that no one's gonna fuck with him after the recent shit, and he's just telling his audience, "Don't leave," pretty much.
It's an audience retention play.
Yeah.
And it seems like for the most part, it's worked. 22,000 likes, the vast majority of likes, 400,000 views. And most of the comments seem to be supportive.
Yeah, when I checked, they were supportive.
Yeah. So I find that all pretty fucking wild. But go on.
You got 18 likes and 4.1k dislikes. I find that pretty fucking wild too.
Say that this or any other clip has been taken out of context, it comes across to them as an effort to shoo away legitimate suspicion, chastising people for having an opinion on something that looks bad. Like, you see a clip that
Bro,
looks bad.
just show me what the fucking clip was out of context. He's doing...
Ethan, stop whining and watch the damn video.
Doing this on purpose.
No, he's not. You're just not willing to actually listen, and you're like 7 minutes and 42 seconds in. Vaush's video. Like, that's how long you're on for. And you're complaining that it is too long or he can't get to the point. Like, shut up. Shut the fuck up, please.
Of me, and then I or a fan of mine comes in and we're like, no, you need to familiarize yourself with like 50 hours of stream lore before you can have an opinion on that. I have seen people weaponize calls for context in that way, so I don't fault others for being like kind of suspicious of that or not taking it very seriously. Some people are just going to tune out right there. Now, don't get me wrong.
Bro, when are you going to make a fucking point?
What the fuck?
Get on with it. He goes, this is out of context. I'm waiting.
See what I was talking about earlier? This is the crankiness of Ethan that I was talking about because he was drinking that NyQuil so much. Like, he should have rescheduled his fucking stream and wait for next week to where he actually feels better and is more energetic to do this video instead of being angry Grinch or an angry Scrooge, which is what he's being right now.
is bad. It's rhetorically bad. It's logically bad. It's obviously optically bad. And the broader argument that it's pulled from are bad in all of those ways too.
Can you just not keep overplaying the stupid sound effects? They are overplayed at this point. Just stop doing that, Ethan Klein. If you're gonna take a serious situation like this situation about Vaush seriously, you need to stop with the overplayed sound effects. It's annoying. Get rid of them. You don't need them. You don't need these sound effects when it comes to a serious situation that you're obviously covering. Like, come on, be more professional here.
But as for what the clip and the argument that it's pulled from say about me, I would like to make the case, if I may, that it does implicate me, but not as a pedophile, rather as a fucking idiot debate bro brain poison.
I mean, it does both. It does both.
Jackass, because I took a perfectly fine argument, and I think that, you know, when I explain it, the argument itself will make
Explain it.
And I
explain it now. What is all this?
Ethan, you're yelling like a 3-year-old child who is whining to their parents about not getting what he or she wants because they told him, no, you can't have a lollipop, or no, you can't have a candy bar, or no, you can't have this toy, or no, you can't have that toy. And then he or she yells at his or her parents because he or she wanted it so bad. Stop having that type of attitude.
All this. What's the point of this video? What is all of this right now I'm watching?
Vaush explaining the entire context of the examples of the clip and the screenshots that he has that he's going to show you. And that's what it is, Ethan Klein. That's what it's all about. And all you're doing right now is just being a Scrooge. A grumpy old Scrooge. Stop that.
We're waiting. How am I supposed to find the context, bro?
with edge.
You find it by paying attention, listening, and not get so overworked up over nothing. Like, if you're not going to have patience to watch this video, then don't watch it in the first place.
Edgy, contrarian, devil's advocate nonsense. So let me explain.
Please.
I just started live streaming, and I was far more argumentative and belligerent and arrogant then than I am now, if you can believe that. Over the background of my mediocre Dead Cells gameplay, an argument with chat on the subject of foreign labor and unethical production was getting increasingly heated. Just in case anyone watching doesn't know, many of the products that we buy from American companies.
Oh, he's not going to do this whole fucking thing. Who's watching this? I can't finish it. I can't. I feel.
People who actually care are watching this. People who actually care are watching this. People who don't actually care are just gonna complain and whine about nothing. Because nothing is getting their way when they whine and complain about how too long a video is. And it's really annoying to me that people are still doing that on the internet today. Like, shut the fuck up, everyone. Nobody wants to hear you complain about how long videos like Vaush's are. Suck it up or get off the internet.
I have too much sympathy for the audience. I just feel bad for everybody who's have to watch this bullshit. Shit.
Because you have so far paused the video multiple times, and you are just not focusing and listening. All you're doing is bitching and whining. Maybe quit doing that and start listening.
Should I keep watching? Maybe. I mean, what the fuck?
Like again, it's the same thing. I feel like he's already justified this before. We've watched his justification. It's the same shit pretty much. There's a few points where he talks about like the context is cut off of one of these clips, and so he goes, "Here's the full context." But we did show that one, so I don't know if he was referring to someone else.
We showed all the context, people. Anyway, Vaush, I'll speed you up.
You showed all the context about his presence there because you were being uncharitable. Like, when he tweeted to you that he was going to come on your stream, but told you to wait back then because he was getting a haircut, as you can probably see. This is what his haircut looks like. And then you started the stream without him and just basically went on. Then it makes you look disingenuous and very uncharitable at best. Because you're just letting those haters who hate Vaush win. You're not being charitable to him by actually making sure you rescheduled the stream that you done like 2 weeks ago, I think it is now. Just for you to make a mockery out of Vaush's situation. Like, you really shouldn't do that.
You up, okay?
American
So
Store
I'm
Show.
going to give you a shot to speak for yourself to the people, to defend yourself. I'm going to put you at 1.5. You are talking kind of slow, so it should work out. Let's see.
Our producer.
Well, I don't care if Vaush is talking kind of slow. I don't care. People in this planet are not meant to talk super, super fast. I'm not meant to talk super, super fast either. And people on my last stream complained about that. All because they don't get it. Not every introvert is a fast talker. And if I want to pause and think what I have to say in a sentence, in the middle of a sentence, then I'm going to do that. I'm not going to be effectively speaking by completing my sentences without thinking what I have to say. There's no reason to talk fast. If you want to hear someone talk fast, you'll have to see an edited video of them talking fast. When really they're talking slow, but the silence part of the audio is edited out to make them talk fast, look like they're talking fast, when they're really not. So yeah, don't complain.
Produced through supply chains that take advantage of what we could consider unethical business practices, like bad workers' rights stuff. Often this takes the form of sweatshop labor, a practice near ubiquitous, for example, in the garment industry, where sewing work is difficult to fully automate. This isn't just a foreign problem, though. There are garment sweatshops where workers make less than $2 an hour, operating right now in Los Angeles, as an example. It's a broad issue. But American companies profit from even worse abuses. The mining of cobalt and the harvesting of chocolate and palm.
I don't want to hear about cobalt mining from him anymore.
He's giving you the context of what happened during his streaming career years ago, Ethan Klein. So why don't you pay attention instead of acting like a 6-year-old? It's pretty disgusting that you're acting like a 6-year-old right now. Just be quiet and listen to Vaush.
Use of child labor, frequently child slavery, frankly. In practice, often just child slavery. American companies profit enormously from this because these abusive work conditions, it keeps the cost of harvesting materials, of acquiring raw product relatively low. And as a consequence of this, the suffering of children is built into the fabric of our economy, of exploited workers broadly.
But we've heard him do all this.
Yeah,
just talking at greater length and just filibustering harder.
It's, again, the all lives matter argument being applied.
The context video is essentially a video that addresses the bad faith smearing people on Twitter who have spread Vaush's clips out of context to make him look bad, Ethan Klein. That's what this video is for. It seems you're not getting it, since you don't understand Vaush's history that he's trying to explain here. And you're just completely unwilling to focus.
Applied to CP, pretty much. And he says he doesn't believe this way anymore, but this is what he was.
I don't need to watch it. I know exactly what he's
Yeah.
gonna fucking say, and it's just so boring.
He has the. If you want to go to the Lolly clip, he addresses that.
Sorry, listen, Vaush. I know you and your fans are gonna look at this and be like, he didn't even watch it. I know your argument. I know what you're saying. I've watched you already explain it
No, you didn't. You don't understand his side of the story. You never invited him on your stream. You did reacted to all of the clips that were taken out of context from Vaush about him. You didn't understand his side of the story. So don't lie and say that you do understand his side of the story when you never even heard it from him until now. That's why you clicked on Vaush's video, to understand his side of the story, because you never invited him on in the first place. Had you done that, maybe things would have changed. Maybe things would have been different. But now we're here. And you're completely avoiding the entire point of this.
$1,000 different ways. I don't need to watch you filibustering it for 10 fucking minutes to my poor audience, who they come to us for entertainment. They come to watch. I try to actually make a.
If they come to you for into fucking entertainment, why would you bring up a serious situation then as entertainment, Ethan Klein? This is hypocritical of you here. If you're a comedy channel and you bring up a serious situation as entertainment, don't you think that you're being a bit obtuse? Because that's what this stream that you did has become. And I'm not fucking happy about it. Like, why are you a comedy podcast doing a live stream about a situation this serious? What's the point of you entertaining your viewers if you're gonna sit there and watch the context video then? You should be doing comedic stuff on your podcast, not this shit. Like, what is the point of the H3 podcast? What's it actually about? And why do you actually do it? Because this doesn't look like what you actually do, Ethan. This doesn't look like what you actually do. You're bringing up a serious situation. Despite the fact that you're an entertainer, it seems. You're a hypocrite for saying this.
Make a point or do something.
What's your argument?
That's all I have to say.
Like, seriously. If you would have stick to, entertaining your viewers about actual entertainment stuff instead of talking about serious situations to entertain your viewers, it could have been a whole lot better.
All right, so this one is interesting. Actually, we caught him out a little bit. Here he is describing the "We've all jerked it" to the lolly clip. So let's see what's the context here.
All right, next clip. We've all jerked it to lolly at some point or another. We have at some point in our lives been going fucking crazy on some hentai site, and we've been fucking stroking as hard and fast as we can, and then after we nut, we go back and look over our history chat, and we go like, oh, geez. Oh, boy. Some of these girls looked pretty young. Yeah, this one definitely sounds rougher than the last two clips, but it's, it's a bit. It's a joke.
No, it's joke. What the fuck's the joke? All right, go on.
I can explain it.
Ethan. Vaush says it's a joke. A poorly made joke that he tried to make at the time. Maybe stop being a pacifist or whatever and start listening and stop being so uncharitable, because so far in the last 10 minutes of watching this part of the stream for the 3-hour mark, you are being uncharitable, and it's not looking good on your end.
I don't think that'll make it any funnier. The intended comedy element of an indiscriminate whirlwind masturbator being used to draw attention to a problem, that problem being the ubiquity of lolicon in hentai sites. I don't really know how anyone could get like a serious vibe from that, like there's kind of like, grave point being made. Again, it's not a funny joke at all. I mean, I couldn't.
What the fuck?
I think it's pretty sussy.
Like I said from a few minutes earlier, what Vaush made at the time was a poorly made joke. I watched the whole video. He made a poorly made joke at the time. That's what his point is. Just listen.
That's just bullshit. Hey guys, I was just kidding on that one.
Nah.
What?
Nah, you just don't get it, dude.
What? I was
You're
kidding.
too stupid. You're too much of a cretin, a mongrel, if you will.
I saw a lot of people up and down the internet saying that they thought this video was good.
That's not like just...
Because it is. It is good. It has a positive rating.
just out of context then. He's just adding lore at this point. Just lying.
I was kidding.
Yeah, I was
It was
kidding.
actually commentary
You
about
thought-
Lolly.
You thought you caught him out, admitting to watching Lolly. But really, he was doing activism.
You caught yourself.
He was raising awareness, Ethan.
He's like, God, who's been to lolly.com and gone to this subgenre? And then he's like describing his preference.
Isn't this even the clip where he shushes his girlfriend when tries to interrupt him?
Might have been.
Yeah.
You don't have a dick.
Yeah, she's like, don't. And he's like, you don't have a dick.
Yeah. He's so furious. We gotta get through this message.
I will say the only thing that I didn't initially see was in the Mr. Girl call when he was debating that one dude. He did hang up on him, and he did say that guy is either a pedo or he's really good at acting like one.
By the way, YouTube, I just said lolly.com. It's not a real website. Don't fuck with me. This is all it is.
Sussy.
I didn't know that when I said it, but I wanted to make sure. It's nothing. This is the whole website.
Okay.
They're obviously looking for a high bidder, Vaush, if you're open. They're parking on this beautiful domain.
We've all jerked at the lolly at some point or another.
So go on, Vaush. Tell me how funny the joke was. Or
Cringe
whatever.
looking at it. It's great evidence against me if the point that people are trying to make is that I was or indeed still am cringe. So the point of their favor
No,
on that
that's not the
against
point. I don't care if you're cringe, bro. Who's this?
Well, that's also.
Being a pedo is pretty cringe.
Yeah, you could be.
I mean, that's not the great charge here.
Right.
Question.
It's not.
We're not debating if he's cringe.
Right, yeah, you're right.
You know,
That's not up for
this is right. Sure.
Idea that pedophilia is just another sexual orientation,
Citation needed.
like being gay or straight.
Oh my gosh.
Stop discrimination.
Citation needed.
It's time to be more tolerant of demons who feed on kids.
I do take issue with the moral outrage here. Child sexual abuse is widely underreported. It's a huge
This
problem.
shit
it's incredibly
again,
damaging to the
man.
psyche of young people and as they grow up.
No, Ethan Klein, he's showing you the full context. That's what this is. This is the whole context here. Shut up. Watch. Stop whining.
They grow older, it can lead to many negative mental health consequences. However,
This bro is like, I'm going to react to a clip of a conservative conspiracy theorist raving about how liberals are sexualizing children. I'm going to respond to this by comparing CP to cobalt production. That'll show him.
That's his S in the sleeve.
You eat chocolate? Well, then what I do is not that bad, is it?
Also, this is a new
Advertising.
clip, right? I haven't seen this one. You gave
I
us-
actually haven't seen this.
Yeah, it's a new one. Thank you.
No, I've seen this clip, but I
Oh.
haven't seen this context. So I actually am interested.
Okay.
This is the one where he, yeah.
pedophilia.
Then you should have, like, at least hold your angry old man Scrooge judgmental ass comment until after the full context is being played in the first place, Ethan.
To the extent that we are calling them demons, probably is pedophiles, people who feel attraction towards children, from getting the help they could need to keep themselves from abusing children. By demonizing them to this extent, you are increasing the likelihood of child sexual abuse.
I don't want to be that guy, but like the ponytail is screaming to me.
You know,
And there's nothing wrong with
Not that
ponytails.
guy, Phil. Trust
There's
me.
nothing wrong with
You're not that guy.
ponytails. Although ponytail, huh? He wants to be there. I don't know. This cut
By a horse.
this haircut that he has, and I love ponytails, in a normal setting, but it's speaking, it's doing talking.
Sussy.
It's sussy. I can't say that.
I mean, it's,
Because it wasn't just the. Okay, all right. Maybe I'm off base. Maybe not.
Yeah, you are pretty off base. Like, it's just a ponytail. Like, that's what it is. Just a ponytail.
demonize pedophiles, demonize child sexual abuse, and encourage pedophiles to get help. Now, if you've got pedophiles who have never sexually abused a child, but they're advocating for it, they're like, yeah, I've never done it, but is there anything really that wrong with lowering the age of consent to 13? Then of course, fuck them. Like, fucking shut them up. Just fucking smack them. But by and large, statistically speaking, there are 370 people watching right now. I'd be willing to bet that at least 20 or 30 of them experience habitual sexual attraction towards children. It's surprisingly common. To those of you who do to an extent that you feel as though it may be like a problem, please, just get some fucking help, my dude.
We saw this and we're like, oh, that was good. We're like, that was good that you said that, but something changed.
As a person, we can't help the shit that we're into. We can help our actions. There's nothing feels weird, man, about this. You can't help the things that you're into. If you realize as you're like 20 years old that you have a thing for kids, what the fuck do? Commit fucking Sudoku? Do you just stop existing right then and there? Do you talk?
Again, this goes back to my question about like, I have a feeling, and I don't understand the psychology of it, that the attraction to children is in itself immoral because the attraction is to the power and control and like the stealing of innocence and stuff. Otherwise, I don't understand. I don't understand at all. So like, is that a real person? I don't know. I haven't heard from anyone who's like, I was just born this way. I'm attracted to kids. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm 20 years old. This is just who I am, and there's nothing to do about it. Like that, is that a real thing? Who is that person? I don't know. I'd like to know if it is or not. I'm genuinely curious.
I think that only comes after they get caught. That's usually what they'll try to say in court or whatever.
Like part of being attracted to kids, I feel like, it's the willingness to do it. And part of it is I don't know. It seems pathological. Like, it's not that simple.
Kids loved Hitler.
It's just really twisted. I don't know.
Toss yourself in front of a car? No. You have to live your life anyway. And you have to recognize, if you're a responsible person, like, hey, even if I just keep this to myself, like, this might affect people someday, you know? I should probably maybe see what I can do about that. Talk to somebody. Okay?
Like, this wasn't the worst clip, though. This one was mild compared to the other stuff we saw. Here he is talking about, I thought that it was this one, AB. It's C1.
3 hours and 18 minutes of this live stream, and you stopped for a bit. At least go back to the context video.
Yeah.
Let me see this part.
We've all jerked at the lolly at some point or another. We have at some point.
Did I already watch this?
That's when you watch, and then under that's where we watched it.
So here we are watching it in the full context, but wait, there's something missing from his video.
We have at some point in our lives been going fucking crazy on some hentai site, and we've been fucking stroking as hard and fast as we can, and then after we nut, we go back and look over our history chat, and we go like, oh, geez. Oh, boy. Some of these girls looked pretty young. Okay, I don't give a fuck, all right?
He cut out the part when he showed it. He cut out the part where he says, I don't give a fuck. Kind of interesting. You know? I mean, it's not like
we've all jerked at the lolly.
Change the full context of it, but it certainly doesn't help. And he's not going to be able to say he did it for brevity because the fucking video is 2 hours long of him just rambling
at some point or another.
It's not him just rambling. It's him explaining the context. Like, I'm sorry you don't want to hear a 2-minute or 3-minute explanation of the entire context of the clips that were taken out of context from Vaush's stream that Vaush is talking about here. But it is important for people like you to understand the gravity of how information works. The ability to inform somebody is to not get to the point quicker. It is to fully give an explanation as to why, as to what, when, why, and how it happened. And that's what an explanation is. And that's what he is doing in this context of the context video. And that's the whole point of the context.
We have at some point in our lives been going fucking crazy on some hentai site, and we've been fucking stroking as hard and fast as we can, and then after we nut, we go back and look over our history chat, and we go like, oh jeez, oh boy, some of these girls looked pretty young. Yeah, this one.
I mean, it does change it a bit, right?
No, we have.
Okay, I don't give a fuck. Oh boy, some of these girls
Yeah,
look
it
pretty
seems
young.
more proud.
It's more like, yeah, I do that, and
Yeah.
I'm cool with it. It's like, I mean, you should include that part if you're trying to address it totally. You know, it's a little trickery.
Okay, I don't give a fuck. All right,
Okay, I don't know. What was his context for that one? Did he like?
Well, if you paid attention instead of not paying attention, like some idiot who has a short attention span because they don't pay attention to a lot of information, then you would know. You would fully understand about the whole just get to the point narrative. Keep it short. Like, come on.
The watching the lolly one? I don't know. Here he is, unironically hot. I don't know. Are any of these worth watching?
I'd say these last two.
I talked it a little more. On to the next one. Yeah, okay, so this one actually is bad, and I've apologized for it a few times. Basically, here I'm doing that thing that guys do where, a hot female teacher will be arrested for raping a student, and the guys in the Facebook comment section will be like, where was she when I was that age? Could have used me some of that. And basically, like, the thing they do where they downplay and trivialize the sexual abuses of the teacher because they personally think it would have been cool if they could have slept with their hot teachers back when they were 14. And yeah, when I was 14, I also wanted to fuck my hot teachers, obviously. But 14-year-olds are idiots. Their interests, desires, and preferences shouldn't really be accounted as a solid moral argument to anything. So this screenshot isn't really missing any context. It actually is shitty, but I've since come around on this, and I've recognized how bad it is to downplay or idealize that kind of thing. So
what do you mean? He came around to understanding that it's fucking weird to say unironic?
Yes. Yes, Ethan, yes. That's what he's saying here. Because obviously Vaush has grown from the mistake that he made at the time.
unironically hot to a minor having sex with a teacher? Bro, you...
And he shouldn't have said that in the first place.
What year was that from? That screenshot. How old is that shit?
It's either
2018.
Yeah, 2018. Almost everything is 2018. There's like a couple 2017, a couple 2019.
How old was he in 2018?
Let's see.
Again, it's the totality, dude. It's like 1, 2, this, that. We could do it. We could look past it.
He was roughly 23, 24.
Fucked an adult as a minor, unironically hot. God. He really put his whole body and soul out there to support that. Okay. So, what's his excuse? To just everybody wants to fuck their teacher?
This is what I'm saying. Why I had to watch it a few times. I just don't fucking get
14
with like half this shit. It just seems like he's just, I was just being edgy and trying to say the most crazy thing I could to get a reaction out of people. But I was trying to make a point that, well, in most of these instances, that everything is bad.
This dude said everyone jerks off at Lolly was a joke. What the fuck's the joke? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, when I was 14, I also
Go
had
ahead.
moral argument to anything. So this screenshot isn't really missing any context. It actually is shitty, but I've since come around on this, and I've recognized how bad it is to downplay or idealize that kind of thing. So, I've been consistent about that for years now on my channel.
And that's fine if we didn't see a Lolly folder and everything else. And then there's one more here. Vaush talks about the recent folder leak. Oh, geez.
Right. So after all that, now we finally arrive at this most recent drama, the incident that lit a fire under Drama YouTube, and is, to my mind, the only thing I've done in the past 4 years that actually looks bad. It's pretty fucking embarrassing, to say the least. So there I was, streaming a few weeks ago, browsing a men's fashion site. I wanted to look at an image more closely, so I right-clicked to open the image in a new window, but then accidentally instead clicked the Save As tab in the right-click drop-down menu. Now, because I am, as has been extensively demonstrated in this video, a fucking idiot.
That's a defense I recall quite frequently too. Is I'm just an idiot, you guys. I'm not a pedo. I'm just an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what he did. He did an idiotic thing. He did a stupid thing. He misclicked the wrong folder. He clicked on Save As and it went to the wrong folder, which showed all of the weird porn stash that Vaush had. And he was an idiot for doing that. So, yes, of course, he is not a pedo. Having a porn stash doesn't make you one. It makes you look like a weirdo, but it doesn't make you a pedo.
Which again is much better than being a pedo. Even fucking a horse, like we said, it's way better. You'd be like the dumbest horse fucker ever. That's way better than being a pedo.
Sussy.
Somehow.
My preferred strategy for keeping my desktop clean is to keep a single big folder called To Be Sorted, where every image, document, music file, whatever I happen to download gets sent. This is an insane thing to have as a live streamer, but, there you go. It's me. So I hit Save As, and a half second later, a preview window of the folder and its contents popped up on stream. And now, of course, that folder had porn in it. So I immediately ended the stream and deleted the VOD, even if it weren't just embarrassing to make a mistake like that as one of the largest political live streamers on the platform.
it's TOS. You got to delete the VOD. So I stream with no delay, and folks are always screen capturing the feed. So I knew the contents of my to be sorted folder and the preview window were irrevocably public knowledge. But to be honest, that didn't really bother me too much. It was embarrassing, sure, but
bro, what the fuck? I don't
mostly.
Shut up, Ethan Klein. Shut up. Don't try to grandstand to say I don't get it or get to the point or whatever. Just shut up and watch. Nobody wants to hear you bitch.
What's his point? What does he say? When does he get to the point?
Bro's just yapping, to be honest.
He just yapped.
Shut up. You were just yapping the entirety of the stream. Actually listening to what Vaush has to say. If you were more charitable and actually listened to what Vaush has to say, but right now, you are not getting the praise from me. I'm not going to give you praise for reacting to Vaush's response because you're not actually listening in order to react to it. You're supposed to do it in a smart way by thinking smart and understanding what he's saying here. You are not doing any of that. You are just complaining that he's yapping. And yapping, by the way, has been around for over like 4 centuries. Over like 4,000 centuries, I think.
Yapping. What does he try to hypnotize people into like thinking that?
So, like, I wouldn't be complaining that Vaush is yapping because yapping has been around for more than you or I or Vaush or anyone else watching this live stream or who had watched it were alive.
That he's not a deviant.
Pretty easy for people to lie about what it contained, to stir up drama or
Did they do that?
Cause me trouble or for any other reason. So when later on in that stream, 1 or 2 people came into chat and they said, hey, there was lolly in there. And, I figured they were just causing trouble and I banned them. Of course, we know where this is going. By the next day, I had learned from what felt like the entire goddamn internet that 2 of the images.
Bro, there's no shot that as soon as that happened, he didn't go straight in that folder and think, what did I just show everybody?
Yeah.
There's no, the first thing that motherfucker did is turned off his stream, which I get. If it's porn, not deviant, weird shit. You go in the folder and you say, what did I just do? I need to understand the damage. He knows exactly what he leaked. He looked at each fucking one of them and started being like, okay, I got to explain this shit.
Right.
He's a smart guy. Anyone would do that, though. Even an idiot would do that.
Mhm.
So like he's like, I just deleted it and was like, I'm gonna go start a stream again. Bullshit, bro. Bullshit. Fuck that.
Just go back and play, Ethan. Just go back to the video and play. Like, really. 3 hours and 27 minutes of this. Fucking shitty ass live stream of yours.
That.
In my folder preview window, we're actually from a well-known lolicon artist, and therefore definitely intended to be lolly shit, which has to be the worst possible way to find out about that sort of thing. Now,
so he just found out about it.
Also, the way he's trying to like kind of change it. Oh, these pictures were made by a lolly artist. It's lolly. It was lolly.
Here's the thing.
When people found out about a certain thing, that means that they didn't actually know what they had there was something cringe or something disgusting or something completely inappropriate. That's what Vaush is saying, is that he didn't know that it was like some sort of cringe 18 plus not safe for work material.
He's really hedging his argument on the notion that his audience have not seen the pictures in that.
Right.
Because there's a ton of room. Do you have that Trump soundbite of him? I'm just finding out for the first time. That's him. That's Vaush when he finds Lale.
Dude, that's my favorite clip of all time.
That was Ian sent that note. That was very good. Oh, that was you, Dan.
Yeah.
That was great, Dan. I'm just, it's a Lale. Oh.
You just died?
Wow. There's no shot, that's true. But yeah, a lot of this hinges on the fact that his audience is not willing to go look at the images and see what they are. Because again, when you do that, I don't think there's a single person that hasn't gone and done that and be like, oh, fuck this. You know what I mean?
sussy.
And he kind of brushes it off too at a point, because he's kind of like, oh, some photos going around weren't even the right ones. There's just some were just completely made up.
Which ones then? If
Right.
that helps you, tell me which.
Right.
No.
Obviously, the accusation here isn't just that I had those images saved. That part's true, not really an accusation, but also that I must have known that they were lolicon and saved them because they were lolicon. Now, the obvious and predictable but nonetheless true response from me is that no, I didn't know that. And that must not have been the impression I got from those two drawings, because if I had gotten that impression, then I wouldn't have saved them. You know, I mean, drawings are...
Dude, saving them? He must have loved the images.
Getting an impression from an image.
Also, it's like, it looks like young.
I looked at that
anime
shit. Yeah,
characters,
that's just, yeah.
It's no question.
Again, this works if you haven't seen the images.
Sussy.
Mhm.
If you haven't seen the images, then you can believe this.
You need
Abstraction.
to know an image to save it.
You gotta love an image
You
to
gotta
save it.
love the image
Yeah.
to save it.
Yeah.
And art styles and body proportions vary massively, even for characters.
He makes it sound like he looked at it for like half a second.
Ambiguously adults. That doesn't mean lolly shit isn't a thing or a problem. I've bitched about it being a problem like a lot on stream. It just means that carelessly or inattentively failing to notice it isn't exactly impossible. Yeah, I know what some people are going to say. No, you must have known. There's no way you didn't know. And like what am I going to do? Make a fucking evidentiary argument here? I'm not putting up the images so we can argue about the pixels or the proportions or whatever. I know fully well that like 99.9% of people who have heard about this drama haven't seen the images, nor do I think.
And that is so much to your benefit, my friend.
Yeah.
That helps. That's the only thing saving you.
And 99% of people don't download the porn they're watching.
And fucking saving images, that's like serious spank bang.
Yes.
That's like, this image is bomb as fuck. Now, I'm not a porn downloader or saver, so I don't know. But to me, if you're going through the hassle of saving it, you're going to come back.
Mm-hmm.
You want to see that again.
I didn't know that. I just, you're telling me now for the first time.
Yeah. No, Vaush. No.
Shut up.
Saving images is not entirely a bad thing in general. You've done it, Ethan Klein. We all done it. We've all saved different images in our lifetimes. We all done it, whether it's random pictures of celebrities or if it's videos from Twitch streamers, or YouTubers for that matter, or TikTokers even. Like, we've all done it. It's not entirely a bad thing.
I think those people
Thanks,
should go
Wolf.
looking
Dude,
for
Wolf
that.
is the man.
The wolf.
You sent it to Wolf?
Obviously. So it's pretty much entirely a take me at my word or don't kind of situation where people are free to lie about the drawings, or
Lie? Oh, he's not being honest now.
I've already seen on Twitter, just post other really bad looking
No, he is being honest.
shit and say that's what I had in my folder. There's not much I can do about it. Right?
Oh, stop.
It's all totally.
That's such a fucking bullshit thing. It's like, oh yeah, there's a bunch of rumors out there that all these things.
Some's real, some isn't.
It doesn't get worse than what it is. It can't get worse. What does that mean?
He downloaded the lolly.
You have lolly. You
had the
admitted to
lolly.
it being, and you even admitted to understanding that it was lolly. You're like, yeah, I can see that. It's like, brother, come on.
And as we've said a million times, like, he's a streamer. If it was anyone else, they could just say a million things, oh, it was for this or that or whatever. Because he has this whole history is what makes it so fucked up, which, yeah.
That's the thing.
Unfalsifiable, and people are going to make whatever assumptions and inferences they want to make. All I can really say is that I didn't notice the problem while saving the drawings, the same way a person could fail to notice any element of any drawing if they were careless or inattentive.
Bro, that's such... So this image is like... The young-looking characters is the main focus of the images, if I'm recalling correctly. That's not like buying a Where's Waldo and fucking missing the Nazi in the corner doing a Heil Hitler or something. No, dude. No. And that was a good addition. It was unexpected, but good. Maybe people didn't know this. Waldo is actually, he's a very fervent Nazi. Yeah. Kind of disappointing to learn.
Attentive or distracted. Chat also pretty much immediately clocked two other drawings in the folder preview window as being AI art, something else I didn't notice. And
They gave me plenty of shit for
Of
that
what?
too.
Of what? Listen,
Because I'm not a big fan of AI art.
Of horse.
I think I've done a good job of demonstrating a tendency towards carelessness, if nothing else. So leaving that stupid.
So at what point does he says, "I just want to fuck horses. I don't want to fuck kids"? He says that, right?
He says you can still make the horse jokes at some point.
So his strategy is like, I'm gonna toss them a ton of bones about how embarrassing and pathetic I am, and hope that they gnaw on those and be like, "Oh, he's so humble. He's so much humility."
Yeah.
To admit these things, and then hopefully they ignore the gaping chasm, which is the real issue here. He needs to now explain that new Discord message. But there's actually, I'm over talking about Vaush, unless you think I missed something.
No, I was just gonna say that his explanations with context end at 120 roughly of the video, and then the rest is just basically him apologizing to his audience, which I think adds on to what you were saying, basically, that he's just basically trying to make himself the victim.
Or yeah. So
I don't think he's actually trying to make himself the victim here.
okay, whatever. But ultimately he's right. You believe him or you don't. I mean, that at the end of the day, that's what it is. And if you do believe him, chances are you haven't seen the images. That's my opinion.
Like, to me, he is the victim because he's been bombarded by people who hate him for spreading these out of context clips multiple times. That's why he is the victim of that.
And if you have, then you need help.
We've all jerked at the lolly at some point or another.
Honestly. But there's other interesting updates here. What was the other stuff I wanted to see that was Vaush related?
The Mr. Girl stuff.
Oh, this one. Fucking Keffels was coming for me.
Ew.
Ethan's phone. I guess I never showed this before on stream.
I don't think we got.
Oh, interesting. So she posted this. Oh my God, I can't believe what I'm dealing with here. Here's Keffels talking about what a piece of shit I am.
Ew.
Ethan's phone number. He gave it to me. I'll try to call him later. Do not fucking call me. I don't remember giving you my phone number. I don't remember talking to you on the phone, but do not fucking call me, please.
Do you want to know the context of that?
What's the context?
It was back when Twitter circles was still a thing. And I was suicidal. It was before I went to rehab. And he saw a Twitter circle where I was talking about how I wanted to just fucking end it. And he reached out and gave me his phone number.
Ethan,
that's what the context was.
You piece of shit.
The shit.
What the fuck am I missing? I totally forgot the context. Actually, now I remember that she mentioned it. Yeah, I saw her on Twitter. I saw something that I thought was really concerning, and I wanted to make sure that she had somebody to talk to if she needed somebody. So I DM'd her and gave her my phone number. She never called me. However, I fail to see how that's proof that I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
What is she thinking? Was she thinking like, oh, he pretended to care about me, but he doesn't?
I think it's like she thinks you're minimizing that she felt that way back in the days, or that you turned. Well, she also always says that you turned on her, like, oh, you put me up as a hero.
I think people think that like they have this really weird notion of like elite. I don't know her at all, and frankly, because I reached out and I was concerned for her, to me, it's like a human emotion. All because I did something nice for you. What I felt, I don't know if it's objectively nice if you perceived it as such, but means that I owe you. and I'm in your debt.
It's definitely nice. I mean, what do you have to gain from a smaller creator? You reached out to try to help her. I mean,
Okay. So, yeah, I don't really know. I don't really get it. Like this happened before where people, they are getting fucked with copyright stuff, and I reach out and help them with DMCA. And it turns out they're not people that I really fuck with. And so I end up talking about them. And then they get this notion that we were like best friends or something because I helped them with some shit. It's like, I mean, I don't know. I guess for me, helping people like in certain situations isn't an endorsement of them as human beings forever.
yeah. I mean, Vaush thought you guys were friends because he, quote unquote, took your side with the whole Hassan stuff.
Bro, how can you even say that, like, and not be embarrassed?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, we got to wrap it up. Dan is telling me, and you're right. This is the whole point. We don't want to end up doing these long-ass shows now. Dude, start doing 5-hour shows. But this is an important message from Chris Hansen.
You have to cool.
Well, now that he is done watching Vaush's video, I guess this is my final message for Ethan Klein. If you're gonna be super impatient to the point where you basically just demand somebody to keep it short and sweet and not ramble on for like an hour, even though that's the whole point of Vaush's the context video for a reason, then maybe, just maybe, you would actually understand where he is coming from and why he was trying to say the things that he was trying to say. So, what you've done for the majority of your own live stream today, I mean, on Tuesday, is for the most part unprofessional. You whined about Vaush's video being too long, like at least 2 or 4 times. And you could have just kept that fucking opinion to yourself. Like, nobody needed to hear that you're gonna whine about Vaush not being able to pick up the pace faster, because he doesn't need to pick up the pace faster. What you need to do is just fucking shut the fuck up and try to actually listen. Because by not listening, Ethan Klein, you're doing the opposite of that. That's why you decided to skip Vaush's video. Like, you of all people were doing that because you don't want to sit through an hour to hear it. Like, if you're not going to hear the whole context video of what he's going to say, then that is at best, on your end, your own fault. And you shouldn't have clicked on Vaush's video in the first place. Like, this really isn't necessary. It really isn't. So next time, maybe try to be a little bit more charitable and not have to like go and grandstand to make a mountain out of a molehill. And above all, don't ever try to talk about Vaush or any other serious situation again if you're going to be taken seriously as a comedy channel. Just don't do it.